Hi, good morning, friends. I am, well, we're back to the blank wall behind me. That Christmas tree was fun last week, but you want to see it? Peek behind the curtain? Yeah. It's a sad little sight right there. Uh, Kids have been here. The tree does not look nice right now. So I'd rather share this message with you before the kids wake up than have a cute background. Okay. All right. So, because today's topic is really fun, we're going to talk about the difference between proactive parenting and reactive parenting. So, I'm Emily Wardrop from Drop the War Life Coaching. And at Drop the War Life Coaching, we talk about how to find peace in your parenting. You can feel peace amidst the chaos of having littles running around because it's not dependent on how they behave to how you feel. So, this tip today is really helpful for helping you feel peaceful about your parenting. This I've been noticing a lot in my life lately. So there are a million um, minutes in the day, right? And so every single minute isn't going to be a proactive approach, but the more systems and schedules and just planning ahead you can do, it can decrease some of the power struggles that we're trying to drop the war on, right? So, um, just basic overview, the difference between a reactive parent and a proactive parent would be reactive is like putting out fires and just being the referee, right? Do we feel like we're refereeing our kids all day long? And just like all day long, it's just like, this, you know, this disaster is happening over here, and that kid is doing this over there, and we have to like just reacting to all of their chaoticness all day long. Then no wonder we like hit our pillow, well, we're completely exhausted before bedtime even starts, right? And so being in that reactive mode is very exhausting. And so as much as we can to be able to be proactive, which is planning ahead, figuring things out, kind of knowing where the problems are going to happen and planning for them beforehand. Like one of my very favorite example I always think of is when I was a kid and we would be about to go on a road trip, my dad would try to do this, right? Like he knows what kind of conflicts are going to happen on this road trip with this car full of kids, and and so he would try to solve some of the problems before we even got on the road. So we'd have a little family meeting before we got in the car, and one year we had this van that the front seats always reclined, but then there was a second row of what do they call those? Whatever. There were recliner seats in the back too, and this was like new, and we were like really excited about that. And so he knew that those recliner seats would be used and that the people in the seat behind them wouldn't be too thrilled. So and we all joke about this to this day, that if someone is putting their seat back on you and you don't like it, you just say, you don't have to freak out and scream and cry to mom and dad about it. You just say, I'm being reclined upon, please up your seat. And we still joke about that phrase to this day because he was trying to proactively uh, eliminate some of the conflict that would be happening in the car. So we can do that in a lot of ways all day long. Like we know our kids' limits, we know when that kid is not going to be able to focus on his online learning anymore, and we can kind of build in more breaks or figure out how he can um, like at this class, it's like he can play with his Legos during this class. Well, like we can work around it, right? We know that like if the girls have been playing nice for so long, they're probably about to not be getting along anymore. And you can kind of, and even like when you start to hear the beginnings of something, like to get in there before it's referee time, like where it's like not gotten too heated, you know what I mean? So there's different things like that that you can kind of know the patterns of your kids and proactively figure it out. One of the things I've been thinking about lately is meals. Like you can be a proactive parent with the meals or a reactive parent, and we tend to be reactive. It's like all day long when they're hungry, they just ask for something and I give it to them, versus we have a schedule, we have a plan, we have meal time, we like and then it's like um, a lot more peaceful as a parent to just be like, here's lunch, eat it or don't eat it, but this is lunchtime and I'm not, you know, a full open buffet all day long. So then it's not like all day long they're like interrupting and bugging me to get food. And so I'm getting like irritated every time they ask for food. I don't want to be irritated that they're hungry. I want to, like, that's something that I think that as a mom I should be providing them, to eat, but that doesn't need to be like this constant thing all day long. So in that way, there can be some proactive approaches to help me be a little more peaceful in the realm of food. if um, and within the bounds of like what works for us, right? That there's no like specific, you must do food this way because that does not help us feel peaceful as mom. To be trying to fit into some mold that somebody said you should have breakfast at this time and it should be these foods and it should, shitting on ourselves all day long with the food is also not peaceful. So, in the realms of like what works for us. So, um, yeah. So when we have proactively figured out some of the things like connection, we know that when we connect with our kids, they're more likely to cooperate. And so, as we plan that into our day, that we know that first thing in the morning, they're going to need some connection time. So, instead of like at the very last second waking them up and rushing them around and making it like giving them a million commands, that you build into your schedule connection time so that you can be more relaxed, you're more peaceful because you have this abundant feeling of there's all the time in the world because I woke them up sooner and we can just chill and have a nice morning, then that leads to more peace, less chaos, less power struggles. Because if we're like, bah, bah, let's go, let's go, let's go, and we're all stressed, then they push back against that. But when we're relaxed, we drop the war, right? So there's a tip for today. Um, as always, easier said than done, right? And so, in your particular circumstances, in your um, the details of your actual life, as with all these tips, try them out, see if they work, see if they don't, see if you can even figure out what I'm talking about. And if not, I'd love to help you out personally. So send me a direct message on Facebook, and we can set up a time. And I do free consultations where we can just chat about what's going on, and you'll get immediate relief because we can figure out which tips and tricks and tools apply to you specifically, and how to get that rubber to meet the road. So I'm here for you when you're ready for some help. And otherwise, I'll see you back here again next week. Thanks, friends. Have a great one. Bye.